Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Chem5. Today we are going to discuss about the group separation of the group 3A cations. So group 3A cations are divided into two subgroups. One is group 3A which contain ferrous ion, ferric ion, chromium plus 3, aluminum plus 3, and group 3B contain manganese plus 2, cobalt plus 2, nickel plus 2 and zinc plus 2. So before starting the analysis we have to make some modification of the solution. If phosphate borates, fluorides, silicates and organic acid anions are present in the solution, we have to remove them, and we have to also remove H2S from the solution. So what is the problem with H2S? As you know that the group 3A cations form insoluble hydroxide in the basic media, while group 3B forms insoluble sulfides in basic media. Suppose we don't remove H2S from the solution, H2S is still in the solution and we add base to the solution, then we will find both the precipitation of group 3A hydroxides and group 3B sulfides, which causes problem in our further analysis, because we want the precipitation of 3A and 3B separately. So what is the problem with other anions, that is phosphate, borate and fluoride? So these anions of group 3, group 4 and magnesium are insoluble in ammoniacal solution, and their precipitation will form after adding ammonia. So to make the basic media we are going to add ammonia in the solution. So if we add this, the phosphate, borates and fluorides of these groups and magnesium will form precipitate, and we cannot use this precipitate in our further analysis, and it also lead us to the wrong result. So problem with silicate and organic acid is, silicate gives a white gelatinous precipitate which may confuse us with the white precipitate of aluminum hydroxide. So if the solution contains silicate but no group 3 cations and we add ammonia to the solution, then we still found a white precipitate which will lead us to a wrong result. And some organic anions like tartarate, oxalate, etc. may form complex ions with some cations like ferric ion or ferrous ions, and they prevent them from giving the precipitation of their corresponding with their corresponding ground reagent. So how can we remove H2S from the solution and make it basic? So for removing H2S, at first we add HNO3 to the solution and boiled it for almost 3 to 5 minutes. As you know that the HNO3 is a oxidizing acid, so it will oxidize the sulfide ion present in the solution to sulfur, and we will found a black precipitate of sulfur. As the precipitation stops, we can conclude that the solution is free from H2S, and then we have to centrifuge it to separate the residue and the solution. So here HNO3 oxidizes Fe plus 2 to Fe plus 3. Suppose if Fe plus 2 is present in the solution, it oxidizes it to Fe plus 3, which helps us to give precipitate of ferric hydroxide, because ferrous hydroxide does not give any precipitation. So for making the basic media, at first we add ammonium chloride salt to the solution and then ammonia is added to it. So ammonium chloride is a strong electrolyte and is dissociates completely in the solution, making a high concentration of ammonia. While after that we add ammonia to the solution, and for the common ion effect there is a lower concentration of OH minus ion. So we want to keep the concentration of OH minus at required minimum, otherwise we will found some precipitation of higher groups which is not necessary here. So let's start the analysis. So here is a solution A. I named the solution A, which is left after the group 2 analysis. Phosphate, borates, fluorides, silicates, organic acids and hydrogen are separated from the solution, and we found solution B. I name it as a solution B. Then at first NH4Cl or ammonium chloride is added to the solution, and then aqueous ammonia is added to it. We will found hydroxides or precipitation of the hydroxides of the group 3A cations, Fe plus 3, chromium plus 3 and aluminum plus 3. As you can remember, we use HNO3 to free the solution from hydrogen sulfide, and it oxidizes all the Fe plus 2 present in the solution to Fe plus 3. So here we only found the precipitation of ferric hydroxide. Then we centrifuge it separate the precipitate, and sodium hydroxide and 3% hydrogen peroxide is added to that and boiled. So we can see that some amount of the precipitate will dissolve in the solution and filtrate the may contain the chromate ion CrO4 minus and aluminum OH whole 4 minus, a complex ion. So here you can see that we found the precipitate of Cr plus 3, and in filtrate there is chromate ion. So somewhere oxidation reaction happens. So H2O2 is a strong oxidizer and it oxidizes Cr plus 3 if present in the solution to chromate ion, and residue will contain the ferric hydroxide. So then we start from the residue. We'll first take the residue and add dilute HCl to it. So ferric hydroxide dissolves in HCl by forming FeCl3. Then we divided the FeCl3 solution in two parts. At first part we add potassium thiocyanide, and if the color of the solution changes to red or blood red, then we can say that Fe is present in the solution. Or in the second part we add potassium ferrocyanide, and if the solution turns into blue color, we can also say that Fe is present. We can do any one of them or both of them. So we cannot say which ion is present, Fe plus 2 or Fe plus 3 or both. So for this we have to take the solution A, the main solution which is left after the group 2 analysis, divided into two parts. At first part we can add any one of them, or we can separate divided the first part again and add both of them. So at the first part, if we add potassium thiocyanide and the solution changes to blood red color, we can confirm that Fe plus 3 is present in the solution. Or we can add potassium ferrocyanide, and if the solution turns into dark blue color, Fe plus 3 is present in the solution. So at the next part, if we add potassium ferricyanide and the solution turns into blue color, we can confirm we will be confirmed that Fe plus 2 is present in the solution. So blue color obtained in Fe plus 3 and potassium ferrocyanide is called the Prussian blue or the ferriferrocyanide, and the blue color obtained with ferrous ion and potassium ferricyanide is called Turnbull's blue or ferroferricyanide. So then we start with the filtrate from the solution B. So filtrate will contain the chromate ion or aluminum plus 3 ion. So first we acidify the filtrate with acetic acid, and then add lead acetate is added to it. If we found any yellow precipitate, we can confirm that chromium plus 3 is present in the solution, and the yellow precipitate is of lead chromate. So why we have to use the acetic acid? Because lead chromate is soluble in sodium hydroxide media, and if you remember, we dissolve the precipitate in the sodium hydroxide and H2O2 solution and then boil it. So if we not acidify the solution with acetic acid, the PbCrO4 will form and it will dissolve in the solution. Maybe we found some pale yellow color, but to confirm it we must have to add acetic acid to found the yellow precipitate. Or we can add nitric acid there to make the media basic, then 1 ml amyl alcohol, and then 3% hydrogen peroxide is added, and the solution is set. After some minutes we can see that the amyl alcohol layer becomes dark blue color due to formation of chromium pentoxide. It is of dark blue color, and here we also use H2O2, but we don't boil it, so there will be no oxidation reaction. Here the oxidation number of chromium is still +6 because here is 2 peroxo bonds. So the chromium pentoxide has a beautiful structure, it is called butterfly structure, and you can see that these two oxygens are in peroxo bonds and these two oxygens are in peroxo bonds. So the net oxidation of the chromium ion is still +6. So now for confirmatory test of aluminum, we take the filtrate found from the solution B, we add ammonium chloride to it and boil it. We found white gelatinous precipitate of aluminum hydroxide. So we can conclude that aluminum plus 3 ion is present in the solution. Or some lab will use aluminum reagent. If aluminum reagent is added to the solution, and if aluminum plus 3 is present, the solution becomes red in color, and we can conclude that aluminum plus 3 is present. So it is the basically the separation or analysis of the group 3A cations only. I will make another video about the analysis of the group 3B cations. Thank you for watching this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it and subscribe my channel. Thank you.